Okay, hi everyone. Could you see my screen? Yeah, I'm graduated from Sichuan University, and I'm working at the Chinese University of Hong Kong, and my topic is microfunction molecule coatings that inspired from Salivary acquired Pellicle. First of all, I want to introduce the Salivary acquired Pellicle.
Hi, Xiao Yang.
Uh,
Sorry, may I interrupt you? I found that your sound is a little bit not that stable. I'm not sure if you connect with Mac or if you connect with Mac, would you mind tune me a little bit to see if that can be adjusted?
Okay, I will change it. Could you hear me?
I can hear you. Just I found there's some when you speak, there's some noise in the background.
Okay, that's okay. Yeah, because air condition was too noise. I have closed it.
Oh, okay, no problem.
Okay. First of all, I will introduce the Salivary acquired Pellicle. In our oral environment between the tooth and our oral bacteria, they have a layer, have a protein and a gallery protein. We call this layer is a Salivary acquired Pellicle. It has very interesting phenomenon because it can clear by washing tooth. And it can occur on our tooth every several minutes. Our research is focused on these proteins. We call is a reason because it's the main compound of the SAP. So we make sure we search the articles and find these proteins. It has 46 peptides, and in some papers we can see the first 50 peptides and SN50s and SN50s can have ability to absorb to the hydroxyapatite surface, and we can we search other articles. We can see the first 6 peptides, the DSSEK and DDDEEK, has ability to absorb the HAP. In these papers, they can see that these 2 peptides has the same absorption to HAP. So in our research, we use these 2 peptides to repair the tooth surface, and we use these 2 peptides to treating our tooth surface. We can see after few weeks, we can see that they have a new layer of HAP on the broken tooth surface, and we use we can see some mechanical properties of this. We can see it was close to the original tooth surface, and we think this peptide is a very good material. So these 2 peptides can recognize the HAP in vitro and in vivo, and the 2 peptides can introduce HAP formation in vitro and in vivos. And the DDEEK is more cheaper and simple than DPFEEKs. So during my PhD research, and I use the DDEEK to modify the different macromolecules such as polymers, polyphenols, and macromolecules and micrograms. We coating this material to the surface and indulge this with biomineralizations and antibacterial, antifouling, and cell adhesion properties. And it can be used in the tooth-borne repair materials, tooth-borne implant materials, and tooth-borne tissue imaging materials. There has 3 parts of my research. First of all, I will introduce the PAMAM. Because in my group, in my senior in my group, they always do some use dendrimers such as PAMAM to repair the to repair tooth, and PAMAM is a multi-paired polymers and will define structures and has excellent biocompatibilities. And in my first research, we use DDDEEK to modify the PAMAM, and we treating the biomineralization such as HAP, and we use this material to treating the surface. We can see that they have a layer of polymer coating on the surface, and we use the rhodamine to modify this molecule. We use the water to resin it. We can see it can stay on the Earth surface. We can it can be said it have a good absorption to the biominerals. So we also use some function molecule to modify this surface, and we can this is a molecule, and it can have a super hydrophobic properties. We can say it can indo surface with a super phobic, and we use it for the protein crystal. And we also use collagen to modify the surface. We can see it have a lot of, it have more cells will attached to our surface. And we also use this material to do some bacterial properties, because it has this group. This group can kill the bacteria. And we do this in vitro and in vivo. We can see it have a good properties to good antibacterial properties in vitro and in vivo. And a summary of this part, and DDDEEK modified PAMAM, it can achieve cell adhesion and antibacterial properties. And this method is green, rapid, and efficiency. But because PAMAM is a polymers, it's very hard to detect degradations. So we want to find some material which is easy to degradations. So we think of some polypeptides. This paper was published in this group, but they use this peptide, the P113. It has antibacterial peptides. It can have to the it can kill the E. coli and can kill the successive in vitro, but we can see when it have the high concentrations, it have toxic to the normal cells. So we want to find some ways to decrease its toxic. You can remain his antibacterial properties and can reduce its toxic to the normal cell. So we use DDDEEK to modify the P113, and we can see it can have antibacterial properties, and it have no toxic. It have no toxic to the normal cells. And we also do it in the vivo, and we can see it have a good antibacterial properties in vivo. And this paper was published in One House group, and they design peptides which can have response peptide linkers and have RGD and HEP. It can have a bacterial response. When bacteria come, the response peptide will click, and this surface can be used to antibacterials. But when there was no bacteria come, the RGD was outside, so it can have to cell adhesion. So we can see, can we use this system into the biomineral interface? So we also we introduced his idea in our system, and we use the DDDEEK in this side, and this is the antibacterial peptide, and this is this part is same to this part. This is the response peptide and the RGD. And when the bacteria come, the enzyme will cut down this part, and the antibacterial peptide will explode. So it can kill the bacteria. When there was no bacteria come, the RGD was outside, so it can be used to the cell adhesion. So we also do it in vivo. We can say they have a good properties in vivo. And the summary of this part, we can say the DDEEK modified polypeptides can achieve the cell adhesion and antibacterial properties. And the method is very rapid and efficiency. And the degradation of peptides cannot be a problem because it's very easy to degradation. But we can see, can we use our system onto the universal substrates? So my research move on the third part. Kinase is is a natural polyphenols, and this group is published by the Frank Caruso. They publish this. They use the DNA to react with the errors, and it can form a stable complex on any universal surface. So we think that this is very interesting. So in my research, we use the DDEEK to modify the dining acid, and we also use the arrow to comply with it, and it can form a layer on our tooth surface, and we incubate this surface. We can see it has a new HAP occur on this surface, and we also do the animal experiment. We can see it have a new layer on animal surface, and we also using surface to do some antibacterial and antibody folding work. You can see the DDEEK modified the tannic acid have very good properties to antibacterial and antifoldings. And the organic pyramidal is also a kind of polyphenols, and in some papers we can say it have properties to repair the tooth. So we use DDEEK to modify these polyphenols, and we use it to it not only can repair our tooth surface, and it can also help to kill the oral bacteria in our orals. So we think it's may have a very good applications. So this work is published by my supervisor in Harvard is New Jersey group. They use this CSGA. This is a sexy protein that is formed by the E. coli, and they use a different peptide domain on this side, and it can achieve the different functions due to the different peptides. So inspire this work. We use the DDEEK to the SGS, and we induce these proteins on the different universal substrates, and it can induce a hydroxyapatite on the surface, and we use it to the cell adhesions. We can see it have a lot of cells adhesion to a surface, and we also use it to the to repair the bone of the accelerates. We can see it have a good pair of the wrist rate, and it can and we call it is a living function materials for the bone repair. And this work is this research is work from this group, and they use the DOPA to combine two different peptides, and it can help to repair the bone. But inspired this work, we can see how to guarantee this system about the antibacterial properties. So in our research, we use DDDEEK and we remind this DOPA part and use DDDEEK and WR, these two parts, and we mix this part on the surface. And it not only just can have a biomedical properties, but it can also have antibacterial properties. And we do this in vitro and in vivo, and it can also use to repair the wrist bones. And this part, DD modified the MPN, CA, DOP not only can achieve with the cell adhesion and have antibacterial properties. The method is green, rapid, and efficient, and it can be used in the other universal subjects. And during my PhD study, we do some competitions to do some industry work. And thanks for the invitation of the Young S01E11, and thanks for your attention. And acknowledge, and this is my, if I have some questions, okay, this is my telephone, this is my email, and this is my WeChat. And thanks my supervisor, Professor Li Jianshu, and Professor Tan Hong, and my co-supervisor, Professor Li Jiyao, Professor Xu Bin, and Professor Niu Zhouxi. Thanks for your attention. Thank you.
Xiao Yang, thank you for your nice talk. It's very impressive and comprehensive. Any questions from the attendees? If you have questions, you can either press the hand raise button or just directly type your questions. We can promote you as the panelist. It's okay. It's a provide the research direction is a little bit out of our scope. It's fine.
I do. Sorry, I do have a question for
Xiao
Yang.
Yeah.
Just very general. So like, despite all the biological part of protein synthesis parts, so how does like the DOPA help to adhere the antibacterial proteins, and how difficult it is to synthesize these different parts of the functional parts of the protein to apply to this application?
You mean actually in this part, DOPA is used for the adhesion to the surface. Actually, it cannot to we don't consider it can be used to the antibacterial or some part. We just use it for the adhesions. Yeah, and sorry, could you tell me other questions?
Oh, so the other question is like you have like a design, the protein has the antibacterial parts, you have like a different enzyme parts. So how difficult it is to synthesize this specialized protein, and how scalable it is?
Actually, it was not difficult because it's very short. It's such as 5 and 6 peptides. Actually, it's because maybe you are not the chemical chemical background. So if you are, actually it's very quite easy to censor it. Yeah.
Okay, and a follow-up question is is this like a more of a chemical biocidal effect or a physical biocidal effect, and how durable it is for these coatings?
Yeah, actually, because my background is biomaterials, so actually we are not focused on the physical properties, and we just do some surface properties, and I think it's because we don't know how to characterize these properties, so how to say so I think but well, I think it's because it's not in our field, so I can't we don't consider it.
Okay, maybe let me rephrase my question. So
Okay.
because I'm studying using nanogeometries to kill bacteria or other small bile species, microbials, and we also have other studies like using some chemicals, some oils to kill bacteria. So that's why I'm wondering, because these two has very distinct mechanism. One is using mechanical rupturing or mechanical puncturing through the cell membrane to kill the bacteria. The other is to basically defunctionalize some of the cell membrane or like a replication of the cells to kill the bacteria. So I'm wondering your methods using this specialized small polymer, is it more close to a chemical cure or more close to a physical cure?
Oh yeah. Sorry, I understand yours. I think it's both. One side is we can use super chaos and the super and
sorry, your sound
so,
is broken.
super,
can you repeat?
Sorry. We can use the positive, the peptides, and the superphobic peptides. It can kill the bacteria to broke the pairs of the bacteria. It was a chemical part, and we also endose the surface with superphobic because the cells cannot. It's very hard to adhesion to the surface, and it can use antibacterials. Yeah.
I see. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Is there any more questions? Okay, if there is no more questions, let's thank Dr. Yang again.